Hello, I'm Amy Blaylock. Welcome to City Hall this week. The Durham City Council is supporting the creation of a countywide task force on child sex trafficking. Council members approved a resolution endorsing the task force during their October 19th meeting. The Durham-Orange Women Attorneys group and Councilmember Eddie Davis recommended the resolution. They say the task force is needed because Durham and other North Carolina cities located near interstates are prime locations for child sex trafficking to occur. The task force will be made up of various organizations involved with children, as well as local law enforcement. The City Council has reaffirmed its capital improvement project priorities. When the Council first approved the projects during this year's budget process, there were still many variables they had to be considered. Council members were recently asked to review the projects that they had approved now that some of the earlier questions surrounding the projects could be answered. At this point, 24 projects have been identified for funding at some point over the next 10 years. Of those, 3 have been designated as high priorities: an athletic tournament site, new sidewalk construction, and station area strategic infrastructure. In total, the 24 funded projects will cost approximately $136 million. 9 additional projects were identified in which funding could come from other sources than the general fund. The city will be purchasing approximately 318 acres of land to allow for the future expansion of Lake Michie. The lake is one of Durham's 2 primary sources for raw water. The Land and Buffer Acquisition Program allows the land to be bought in advance at the most advantageous prices and on a voluntary basis in order to protect the drinking water supply from future development. The city will pay $2.4 million for 2 parcels on Bahama Road and 1 parcel on Roberts Road. A project to remove large trees that are encroaching on city easements is about to get underway in order for critical infrastructure to be maintained. The city is required to maintain access to all existing sewer easements by the state's Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Several locations throughout the city have been identified where trees need to be removed. Approximately $438,000 will be spent over a 2-year period so that the city can continue to identify areas that need trees removed while work can begin in the areas already identified. Private contractors who will be performing the work can be identified by a letter they will be carrying from the city describing the project and authorizing the work. The city is making changes to the street closing procedures associated with the special event permit process. The City Council approved revisions to the ordinances that regulate this process during its October 19th meeting. The revisions are intended to allow the city more flexibility in creating a fair and efficient permit application process. The changes include removing deadlines and other administrative details currently outlined in the ordinance by delegating the establishment of these rules to the city manager. Specific penalties for violating the ordinance and an expanded listing of grounds for staff to deny or revoke a special event permit are also included. In addition, the changes are intended to more clearly protect residents' constitutional rights through a defined process to appeal denied or revoked permits. Special events covered by this process range in scope from small neighborhood block parties to large festivals in downtown Durham. Durham is expanding its sister city relationship with Juzhou, China. A delegation from Juzhou visited Durham on October 14th to discuss how the collaboration could be expanded. The group met with Mayor Bill Bell and City Manager Tom Bonfield, as well as the City County Planning Department, the Durham Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Durham School Superintendent Dr. Brett Lahome. The trip was hosted and organized by the Carolina-China Council, which is a partner with Durham's sister cities. That does it for City Hall this week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also find us on demand on Durham Television Network's webpage and on YouTube. I'm Amy Blaylock. Thank you for joining us. This has been a production of Durham Television Network.